So us as drivers are often faced with some crazy challenges. The other day I picked up somewhere in Las Vegas and brought it to a Sam's Club deep in LA somewhere. I think it was Grenada, California. And I was kind of looking at the Sam's Club on Google Earth, kind of getting an idea of where I'd be going into and how it was set up, even to if there was anywhere I could park if I needed to, since there's not a lot of places that we could just shut down any old where in the greater LA area. So when I got there, I had already pulled in to the point where it looked like I was going to have to do a blind backing turn, and luckily someone was there that knew the spot pretty well, because they knew I was able to make a certain turn within the facility that mathematically in my mind didn't look like it would be so. So what I was able to do was at least maneuver myself in the trailer around this light pole fixture and set up to where I could do a regular backing to where I could see it all better. It wasn't blindsided. And the reason why it's a struggle and stress not only is like certain things like that enough, but the actual turn into the dock was insane because they had all these trailers lined up to all the other docks. There was one dock left next to a wall, and the only thing that could fit in there was your trailer, and you didn't have a whole lot of space to work with because it was almost as if it was built for day cabs and not for sleeper cabs. And so I was watching a guy in a day cab do it, and he was running up on the curb, almost had to hit a tree when he was backing in, so he had just enough space to get what he had to do done. And so by watching him, I kind of knew that for me to make that turn, I was going to have to adjust my truck a bit more to the left when I pulled forward to set up the backing. And the main reason I'm making this video is because that backing and that setup, I had to pull out into the street, and this particular area is super busy. The shoppers are using it for their entrance and their exit points, probably about 25% of the shoppers. So you got all this traffic coming and going, and while you're trying to back up and you're holding up traffic, you're probably going to put you under a lot more stress, everybody waiting on you. So you kind of just have to laugh about the whole thing and find the humor. Not that you're think it's funny that's all going on, but if you're not kind of, just like nonchalantly going about, it makes things a lot more stressful. Luckily I wasn't really stressed. I knew I had to do my job. I couldn't help that everybody was honking and back and wanting to get around me. It's like, this is a tight fit. Go around, you know the neighborhood better than I do. You're in a car, so good luck with all that. So it's just some advice for anyone who finds themselves in those stickier situation. And on top of it, for some reason, I think it had to do with my glad hands. The rubber on the glad hands was a little worn. So while I'm driving and sitting and braking and holding the brake, I hold air fine. But for some reason, when I'm shifting gears, some of the air gets lost. I've been trying to figure out why it does that. So while I'm reversing and backing and getting out and looking and adjusting myself while backing, I kept losing air to where my truck wouldn't run until it built up past 100 psi again. So it was adding on top of the already challenging maneuver I was doing, adding probably about 10 minutes of extra, about 10 minutes of extra wait time these people had to do. So I basically backed up an entire block of traffic trying to back into this thing. So for a lot of people, I could see that would be a bit overwhelming and they would probably question truck driving, especially if they didn't have some experience like I did. if you try to do that without much experience, I mean, it's almost like kissing your career goodbye, or at least for now, because it's pretty challenging. So anybody in those situations, just take your time, get out and look. Don't worry about the traffic. They can go around you. They'll figure it out. And it's your career. It's just their afternoon. So good luck.